Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley.
I'm Brian.
Super late night edition.
Late
yes,
news.
we stayed late because we heard about hot tips. And it looks like the Pokemon rumors were true. The Pokemon Company dropped a surprise bomb on us tonight with not 4, but 3 new Pokemon announcements for the Switch.
Yeah, and as we reported earlier, not bragging, the 2 new games are called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
So basically all the people saying those were the fakest they could be, they were not.
Yep, they're not. The games, yeah, exactly. Don't you feel dumb now? The games, they're based on Pokemon Yellow, which not coincidentally released 20 years ago in 1998.
But it's not the same old Pokemon.
Oh no.
In this updated version, you'll be able to catch Pokemon, battle alongside a friend, each of you holding a Joy-Con, using it to do things like throw Pokeballs, which is gonna make the people who didn't like Pokemon Go really upset. There's also integration with, you guessed it, Pokemon Go. So you'll be able to swap your Pokemon back and forth between the Let's Go games and the Just Go games.
Yeah, and they also showed off a new Pokemon ball-shaped controller that apparently works like a Joy-Con and allows you to both control your character and throw Pokeballs with, you know, the wrist flick to catch Pokemon in the wild. You can even use it to take your favorite Pokemon for a little stroll around the block.
Countdown until some of those Pokeballs go through TV. And 3, 2, oh no, it already happened. It's not even out yet and it happened.
Nope, yeah.
It's like the Tamagotchis. You know, you can get those now. I think Best Buy is selling Tamagotchis, or you can get one of these Pokeballs.
It's true.
But the Pokemon Company wasn't done with that.
No.
They also announced a non-core RPG called Pokemon Quest that is, surprise, out now for Nintendo Switch and is coming to smartphones next month. Looks kind of like a RPG puzzle-like game. It can be controlled by the touchscreen and features new visuals with a kind of a blocky animation feel. Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Like, kind of cute.
Yeah, and then in a final bit of news, the Pokemon Company also announced that it's working on an all-new core series, Pokemon RPG, that's scheduled to be released second half of 2019.
Translation: if you're not happy with all the Go integration,
Yeah.
we're gonna do one that you like.
Yeah.
But overall, Pokemon News Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So much stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's why we're here late. Yeah, and ever since the Switch came out, fans, they've been waiting for a Pokemon game for the console. There was a lot of rumor about Pokemon Stars, but now their wishes have definitely been granted. But will this be the Pokemon games that fans wanted?
That is the big question.
Yeah.
So let's kind of dig into the announcement and see how the games are different from previous Pokemon games and what they offer, because there are some really significant changes. There are some things that sound pretty cool,
Yep.
and then there's also a couple things that I think people are going to be a little upset about.
So, like we said, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, they are based on Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, but there's going to be a whole lot of changes.
Yeah, don't think this is going to look anything like your Game Boy.
No.
While that core underlying game might be pretty similar, at least some of the skeleton, these games are going to look and play a whole lot different.
Yeah, and as for the look, the games will feature updated 3D graphics. They definitely look like they're going to take the series in a whole new direction, visually speaking.
I really like the graphics.
They look
Just
beautiful, yeah.
First impression,
Yep.
I was impressed. I'm liking it.
Yeah, they showed off a trailer. All the characters look great. The animations look great. So definitely the best looking Pokemon games yet.
Yay, Switch. Another big change in the games is the multiplayer aspect. So the trailer did show off 2 people playing at the same time, with each person using Joy-Con to control their characters and throw Pokeballs. There may be possibly up to 4-player co-op. That is speculation, but it's what we've been hearing rumors about. We even saw them, each of the players throw a Pokeball and successfully catch the same Pokemon, but they didn't really make it clear if they then each get one or if they share.
Yeah, that was sort of, that was my first thought. Like, do they each get one or do they, I don't know.
Well, I mean, based on the way Nintendo has done multiplayer in the past, on the Switch at least,
Yep.
I am going to just go ahead and speculate that this is going to be similar to Mario Odyssey, something like that, where this is someone's game, someone else can come in and help them and play along, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to take anything back to your game or to your save. You're in there to help.
Yeah, you got the main character and then you got the hat flying around to help.
Right, yeah, you can be the hat.
Right.
So that's speculation, but we'll see. If you can then take the Pokemon that you catch back into your profile save, that'd be
awesome.
great if they can do that.
Right.
Now it also looks like you're gonna be able to partake in group battles alongside friends, so that is pretty cool. That's a new mechanic for the franchise and will allow some fun Pokemon battles with your buddies, which after all is what people want Pokemon for, right?
Yep, absolutely. And the new games will also have a lot of integration with Pokemon Go for those of you who are still playing on your phones.
Or did at any point.
Yeah, you'll be able to dust it off, connect your Switch to Pokemon Go, and then swap your Pokemon back and forth.
You'll be able to bring all 151 Kanto region Pokemon from Pokemon Go over to Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee, and also the Alolan forms of those Pokemon, like Alolan Exeggutor.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know how I feel about the integration with Pokemon Go. I think that's going to turn off some fans who want, like, I don't know, like a standalone. Will this make it feel more mobile-y?
Well, there is some concern, one, that it could potentially make it feel too casual.
Yes,
because just with Go, it was very accessible. It was made to appeal to a wide range of consumers, even if they have not played Pokemon for decades. Worked great.
Right.
The other thing is it might also change the gameplay balance if you can just import 151 Pokemon and more or less complete the Pokedex right from the start. So there is a little bit there, but it is also different than I think a lot of people were worried about the Pokemon Go integration being. I think people were worried they were going to have to take their Switch down to the park.
That's what I thought.
And swipe and try and catch Pokemon as if it was Pokemon Go. That's not the case. There is Pokeball flicking, but you don't have to go somewhere for it. If you want to go somewhere, you take the Go version and then import them. So that could be useful, but I think it's going to be polarizing. So again, they're like, hey, but if you hate it, remember, we're working on some core ones in 2019.
Yeah, keep EV training your Pokemon until then. The other big reveal as far as Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was something called the Pokeball Plus, which is a Pokeball-shaped peripheral that you can use as a Joy-Con to play, but you can also use it to store one of your Pokemon and then walk around with it in the real world. That's that whole Tamagotchi feel to it.
Yeah, it is. In the trailer, we did see someone petting their Pokeball, which then lets out a happy little sigh. So it looks like it might let you, at the very least, boost your bond with your favorite Pokemon, and that seems like it's going to be how they do the Go version of Pokemon Go, the encouraging of activity. So it's not mandatory, but something you can do, something a little bit extra.
Yeah, and according to the site, the device lights up, it's got a lot of different colors, it vibrates, it plays sounds. Oh, and you can also connect it to Pokemon Go as well, and use it as a peripheral for that game, they said.
Yeah, so in case you were wondering, yes, they are trying to tap into the popularity of Pokemon Go. Maybe even breathe some new life into that game by getting people who have been playing, who played Pokemon Go and then fell off, but are going to get into this to get back into Pokemon Go as well, and then spend money on incubators and eggs and all kinds of things, because, oh boy, those microtransactions made them a lot of money.
Even now, right? Like, it's not as popular, but it still makes them like a buttload of money. Like, for those who are still playing it.
Yeah, and if you see some of the events or raids that are happening, even just here around Austin, if you see one of those, you'll see a group of people around it. It's gotten a lot quieter, but that game is not gone by any means.
Exactly.
And then the only question is if this is going to be way too Tamagotchi. Like, I don't know about you. I had a Tamagotchi back in the day and kept it alive, cleaned up its poop, whatever. And then it was just too much. Yeah, just too much.
It definitely feels like that. There's that part of it. I mean, it's making sounds. You can take it with you. It feels like they just want to integrate, make you always just be reminded that it's there. So.
I think it's gonna be great for 5-year-olds.
Oh God.
Every 5-year-old is gonna want one of those.
Absolutely.
Believe it. One other quick note about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It also looks like you're gonna be able to customize the look of your Pokemon in the game with different hats and shirts, and you can have separate saves in Let's Go by using separate accounts on the Switch, which means you and other family members can each have your own separate games on the same console, and that is something that is new because it is the Switch, and because you can have multiple user profiles on the Switch. You can't do those in previous versions of Pokemon, so that is something.
Right. Another big question that people had, online play. That's been a big feature of Pokemon games lately. Not clear if these will have it. Some outlets are reporting that they won't. But regardless, they're going to be due in stores November 16th. So later this year, holiday season, basically.
Bit of a bummer if there isn't online, considering how multiplayer-centric a game like Pokemon is. So I'm not sure why they would leave that out. That seems like an oversight if that's the case.
Maybe they'll add it in later. I don't. But that's a huge, like, battling your...
Nintendo Switch Online. It's going to be a subscription. As for other announcements, Pokemon Quest was also unveiled for both the Switch and smartphones. That features block-like Pokemon who use in a team of 3 to explore a new area called Tumblecube Island, and you battle wild Pokemon, and there also appears to be quite a lot of treasure gathering to be done on that one.
Yeah, you can also use special items called Power Stones to power up your Pokemon stats, and the entire game is controllable via the Switch's touchscreen. Makes sense since it's also for smartphones.
Yeah, well, and this game is also free to start, which presumably means there will be microtransactions somewhere in there. It is available now on the Switch. It's going to be out late June on smart devices, so we'll see what that ends up looking like.
Yeah, microtransactions. It looks like they want to get back to making...
It was a lot. Yes, that game was free, but it also raised... the Pokemon companies, not even Niantic's, but the Pokemon companies' revenue for that year by like 2,500%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I only played Pokemon Go for maybe a month. I probably spent $50 on extra balls.
They make it so easy. So great job, everyone. We told Nintendo that we wanted microtransactions, and they listened.
Oh, they listened. Yeah. To round out the presentation, the Pokemon Company said that they've got, like we said before, an all-new Core Series Pokemon RPG. It's in development right now, scheduled to come out second half of 2019. So there is a lot more Pokemon ahead for the Switch.
All right. Boiling all that down. Well, for one, it looks like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee could be serving as a way to, well, one, really capitalize on the success of Pokemon Go, but also as a way to tide hardcore fans over until the next proper Pokemon game comes out, since that's not going to be until next year, and they want to sell consoles now.
Right. I just wonder how the hardcore fans are going to take this. You know, that, like, are they going to look at this, like you said, as too casual? This isn't a real Pokemon game? I don't know.
I mean, this is a really big shift.
Yes.
Sure. Based on Yellow, so it's going to have a lot of familiar elements.
Right.
It's going to have the familiar original Pokedex, but this is really different from what a lot of hardcore fans expect from Pokemon games. So I kind of feel like they are hedging their bets, saying, hey, not everyone's going to like this one. A lot of mainstream people probably will. That's what they're counting on. If you're a hardcore fan and you're not into this, there will still be a Pokemon game for you. Don't count them out just yet. But it does feel like they hedged the bets.
It also feels like they tried to make it clear if you didn't want to use...
Speaking of Bethesda stream today, hoping for a Fallout remake. Remakes are doing fine.
I love gamers. And plus, playing with friends, that's a huge new feature. It makes anything more enjoyable. It definitely goes along with Nintendo's play together ethos. So
if they do online.
Yeah, exactly. Just not two together. So we'll see how the fans take this, and if the new games will ultimately help Nintendo keep moving Switches, because that's their larger goal here.
Yeah, well, nothing sells like Pokemon games, and looks like they are going to be releasing that nice and close to the holiday season, give that Switch another boost at the end of the year, move a ton of units.
Yeah, and we've been speculating this for a while now, but if Nintendo really does want to move 20 million Switches this year, Pokemon's a pretty solid bet on how they can do that, especially when paired with the Smash Brothers game they got announced, so...
Yes, so they'll just do 3 Pokemon games, that many more Switches. Anyway, so far as financial speculators are certainly predicting this is going to do well for Nintendo. Their stock's been skyrocketing since the announcement, but, I don't know, the potential lack of online, the limit to the original generation of Pokemon, which could feel limiting for a lot of people, the overall Goification does seem to be eliciting a more lukewarm response from a lot of gamers online.
Yeah, well, that's about all we know right now. What do you guys think of all this Pokemon news? Are you stoked, or did you want more? Are you let down? Let us know in the comments.
Give us your hot takes.
Yeah.
And for all your Pokemon news, make sure you like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the Know. And also the Alolan forms of those Pokemon, like the Alolan Executor. So that kind of just, it sheds a little bit of light on what?
Executor.
Damn it, I always do that. And also their Alolan forms of the Pokemon, like Alolan...
Executor.
I froze. I froze. I thought, and I was like,